Let's talk about the biology of weight gain. But in order to understand that, we need to understand the brain signaling involved in decision making. On a day-to-day basis, the brain is in charge of millions of actions to keep your body functioning, including keeping your heart beating, your lungs breathing, and your nerves communicating. All of that is done in parts of the brain which are subcortical, meaning they're not consciously controlled, rather they're on autopilot so that we don't always have to remind ourselves to have our heart beat or to take a breath. And although our cerebral cortex can take over, i.e. you can force a breath, the subcortical structures are what maintain function for the vast majority of the time. So why does this matter for something like weight gain? Well, these subcortical parts of the brain are actually what control hunger, cravings, and food preferences. This is exactly why gaining weight is so prevalent. For 30 years, patients living with excess weight have been told, just eat better, despite the fact that eating is mostly a subcortical function, the same as breathing or digestion. The main part of the brain involved in eating is the arcuate nucleus of the hypothalamus, which has parts that promote eating and other parts that promote satiety, which is feeling full. These parts receive input from the stomach, the pancreas, adipose tissue, and also other parts of the brain that interpret sight and smell. That's why when you see a pizza commercial, you suddenly crave it. Your visual processing goes straight to the hypothalamus and your body instantly wants something. This is why long-term studies on diets show they only work for about 5% of patients, because overriding your subcortical brain is not a practical treatment plan. This is where pharmacologic options come in, medications. We now have several medications that work exactly in the arcuate nucleus in the hypothalamus to attenuate our cravings and to provide patients the opportunity to be in control of what they're eating. A future video will look at the details of these medications, their mechanism of action, as well as the studies that back up their efficacy.